most of their need and requirements. On December 17, 1991, the General Assembly of the United Nations voted on a resolution demanding that Iraq release all Kuwaiti and third country POWs and provide information on all past or present detainees living, dead and released. The resolution was passed 155-1 with no abstentions and only Iraq voting against the motion. No detainees were released. From October 16th to 17th, the tripartite committee was established with representatives from the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the International Committee of the Red Cross, and Iraq. The members of this committee meet officially in Geneva, Switzerland. They express the purpose to discuss and resolve the POWs issue as per UN Resolution 686 and 687. This was the first series of scheduled meetings. For reasons known only to themselves, the Iraqis boycotted some of the meetings. In September 1994, at long last and for no apparent reason, Iraq did admit to having information about 45 Kuwaiti prisoners. This was a complete and virtual admission that all of the statements about the prisoners over the previous 3.5 years had been lies. Subsequently, 3 more statements have been released, bringing the total number of prisoners they admit to holding as 126. But alas, even this cannot be regarded as real progress. Although the Iraqis admit that they took these 126 people to Iraq, they now claim that they lost track of them during the confusion and uprising in Iraq during the Desert Storm campaign. They proclaim to be searching for them now. The National Committee for the Missing and POWs Affairs has documented proof of the existence of the 605 prisoners. They give irrefutable evidence that Iraq has detained these innocent people. The evidence relies on 3 sources. There are eyewitness reports from released POWs that these individuals were seen and contacted in the Iraqi prison system. There are reports from family members who witnessed their relatives being arrested and forcibly removed by the Iraqi armed forces. Most importantly and most damningly, there are official documents from the Iraqi occupation forces themselves chronicling in detail the arrest, imprisonment and transferring of unaccounted for Kuwaitis in significant number from one detention center to another.
So we're not talking about ghosts, we're not politicizing the issue, we're talking about real people who have been arrested by official Iraqi security forces. We're not talking about people who were lost in the desert. We are not talking about people who were killed in combat. No, we're talking about people who were arrested from their homes, from the streets, from the co-op societies. Those people were arrested officially and put in Iraqi jails during the occupation in Kuwait, and then against all international resolutions and conventions, they were transported across international borders and put into Iraqi prisons and jails.
Despite all of this, the Iraqi regime continues to play its usual games, by sometimes admitting holding the Kuwaiti POWs and at other times denying, after 10 years, their contribution to the issue is nil. During these 10 years, Kuwait has spared no efforts in trying to solve the issue. All channels were pursued, including the Arab League, world leaders, and the International Committee of the Red Cross. The US, Russia, the United Kingdom, France, Italy, the EU Parliament, the GCC nations, Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, Malaysia, Indonesia, Korea, Japan, and many other countries have called for the release.
نطلب من كل إنسان في كل مكان إنه يقف معانا ويساعدنا عشان بس يردهم لنا سالمين، إخواني وجميع الأسرى 3. شو أقول لك بس ما قصروا لجنة الأسرى، الله يعطيهم العافية. أبي أوجه رسالة حق العالم إنه يوقف معانا، إنه يساعدونا، إنه يطلق سراح إخواننا الأسرى، إخواني 3 ومعاهم جميع الأسرى الكويتيين. الصراحة صاحب السمو وولي عهد الأمين ما قصروا معانا، ولجنة الأسرى الله يعطيهم العافية. نتمنى أن تكون هذه الرسالة يسمعها صدام علشان بس يفرج علينا إحنا، عشان لا ليلنا ليل ولا نهارنا نهار. وأنا أوجه رسالة حق الأسرى، صبروا، عليكم بالدعاء، عليكم بذكر الله، الله يثبت قلوبكم إن شاء الله وردكم لنا سالمين يا رب.
هو انأسر من تاريخ 17/8 ليوم، ما ندري عنه أي شيء. لو كنا ندري كان رحنا له. في ناس كانوا يروحون يزورون، وحتى جات له بنت وهو ما كان وما يدري ما يدري إذا كانت جايت له بنت ولا ولد. ما أدري الصراحة، ما أدري شو أقول. أتمنى من الله إن كل ديرة في العالم تسمعنا، اللي تقدر عليه أي شيء تسويه، بس إنك تفك في قيد أسرانا.
الحمد لك والشكر لك يا إله العالمين، الشكوى لك الشكوى لك يا إله المسلمين، الحمد لك والشكر لك يا إله العالمين، الشكوى لك الشكوى لك. حقك يا رب البيت رجع لنا الأسرى، رجعها الكويت اليوم قبل بكرة، رجع لنا الأسرى اليوم قبل بكرة يا رب.
Despite universal support and many public and private appeals on Kuwait's behalf, the Iraqi regime has neither relented nor changed its non-humanitarian stance. The National Committee of the Missing and POW's Affairs also brought the POW cause to the attention of the spiritual leader and champion of human rights, Pope Jean Paul II. He too has called for an end to the suffering of the innocent prisoners, and his appeal to the Iraqi regime's conscience has likewise been ignored. The Pope was denied permission to visit Iraq at all. The issue was also brought to the attention of the Islamic Conference Organization, chaired by President Abdou Diouf of Senegal. President Abdou issued a statement asking the Iraqis to resolve the problem by releasing all Kuwaiti POWs. There was no Iraqi response. Iraq continues the fabric of deceit and self-contradiction, which appears to have become the official policy adopted by the regime at the highest level. It is clear that the regime is using this humanitarian issue to its own ends, perhaps in hope of using the prisoners as bargaining chips when the time comes. Needless to say, the suffering and tears of the families does not mean anything to the regime. Cries of compassion seem to fall on deaf ears.
ما كنت أقول أنا آكل ولدي ما يقدر عنها، ما آكل ولا شارب ولا يعان يا ناس ساعدونا، يا ناس ساعدونا بالدول كلها تسمعني وتساعدونا، ما بقى في العمر كذا ما مضى يا ناس. حرام شكل، مو بس ولدي، نبي أسرانا وأسرى المسلمين كلها يفك أسراهم إن شاء الله، ويجتمع إن شاء الله وياهم على الفرح والسرور.
بالليل أنا حلمت فيها تقول لي ماما متى تطلعوني، متى تحرروني، ما أدري إيدها لي، فأقول أنا هني